You are a Xiaomi fanatic and you're thinking which is the best speaker to buy. Well, I have 3 of them, and all of them each go for less than 70 bucks. And I am able to play with these thanks to the really nice people at the Mi Store, so do me a solid and check them out on their socials. Let's kick things off with the Xiaomi Mi portable speaker. It's about the size of a tin of canned tuna, with the body being mostly a matte plastic with some fabric on top, covering the speaker itself. The base is really good rubber that does a good job of gripping onto surfaces. Whilst at the bottom you'll see the power button smack in the middle, and that's the only button you'll find on this speaker. There is this orange loop that just helps you carry it around or hang it on stuff like a backpack or a window or hook it on the ceiling. Don't ask. Below this convenience loop is a rubber cover that hides the USB-C port, which you can use to charge the speaker, and they also include a cable in the box. Very nice. On the opposite side is the LED indicator light. This will show you what's going on with the speaker, like if it's in pairing mode, if the battery is empty, or if the battery is full and more. In terms of features, it is IP67 dust and water resistant, so it can handle some bit of rough riding. It also supports stereo pairing, meaning you can grab 2 of these and connect them together to make double the noise, or to simulate some stereo separation of the left and right channels when you're listening to audio or watching video. It makes your entertainment a bit more immersive. It's really easy to pair. Just turn it on, search for it via Bluetooth on your phone or tablet or laptop. When it pops up, just click pair. A single press of the power button will pause or play music, and the same function can be used to answer or end a call. A long press on the button will switch the speaker on or off, and a double press will mute a call if you are on one, or it will enable truly wireless stereo mode, so you can connect to another speaker for that truly wireless stereo I mentioned earlier. The sound quality is good. It's not A+, but it's still an A. The frequency range is good with really defined mids and highs. So if you're listening to orchestral tracks with a lot of instruments or watching something with dialogue, it does a very good job there. Where it falls short is in the low end. There is some bass in there, but just not enough low end to give you that satisfying rumble in bass heavy tracks like hip hop or amapiano. Regardless, the sound quality stays pretty consistent all the way to the maximum volume with some negligible distortion. Not much. For casual listening, it does the job, and it can fill up a regular sized room well, but it just falls short on power and bass to light things up outdoors. It is perfect as a louder, better speaker for your smartphone or laptop to enhance your music or video experience. Even for them school kids, it's a decent speaker to just add a vibe in the dorm room on a weekend. The box says it has a long-lasting battery life, which is not really specified, but I would estimate it should get you about 5 to 6 hours of music playback at around 50% volume. So what's good about the speaker? It does sound good. It's got some water and dust resistance. It uses USB-C, which I personally prefer. It's got a great design and build quality, especially if you get the black one. And the truly wireless stereo is a nice to have. What's not going for it though is its only feature is Bluetooth. There are no other ways of playing music on it. And it's borderline pricey at $25 US. Then there is another Mi portable speaker with a 16W in front of the name. Why? Because it's bigger with more buttons and more ports. It's also heavier. I don't think a lot of people will hang this one on something like a backpack or chuck it in their cargo pants. The build is still solid and clean, but most of it is now fabric, which is going to be interesting when it gets dirty. There are 2 rubber pads on the bottom to ensure that it will roll off surfaces before it slides off them. The buttons are on top and there are plenty. A power button to turn it on or off, volume buttons which also double up as track skipping buttons, play pause button that also answers and ends calls, a dedicated Bluetooth button to pair a new device and quickly disconnect a connected device, and lastly, an infinity button which allows you to pair this speaker with another one to create that left-right stereo separation. The one I got is the blue one, but looking at the box, I think I would definitely go for the black one. It's also IPX7 rated for water and dust resistance, so some water splashes or sandy beaches won't really upset it. Oh, and ports, it has 2 of them, a USB-C port for charging and an aux port for those that still prefer playing with cables. Speaking of, I wish they actually included an aux cable in the box. It's a shame that all you get is a USB cable to charge the speaker and that's it. This one promises up to 13 hours of battery life, but only at 50% volume. So at volumes above 50%, it's going to last less than that quoted 13 hours. It's got a 2600 mAh battery inside, and it's odd for me that they did not put a reverse charge feature so that I can use it as a power bank to charge my phone or smaller speaker. Yes, it is louder, much louder, and yes, it has more bass. In fact, on some really bass heavy tracks, the speaker literally shakes and rattles the surface that it's on. Sound quality, I give it an A+. It delivers some meaty bass all the way to max volume, with the vibrations getting more violent the higher the volume goes. The slight bass bias and high volume does introduce some slight distortions at maximum volume, where in music some higher frequency instruments are a bit less sharp and consistent. But this is me speaking from an audio enthusiast's point of view. For a majority of you, this speaker is a great speaker. It can definitely work for a Zumba class or a big room for those that missed this reference. It can even work for a small outdoor thing like a backyard braai, picnic, or a small birthday party. It also has 2 preset equalizers. One is normal and the other is deep bass. You can cycle these through by pressing the play, pause, and plus button at once. I could not tell if there was a difference in bass between the 2 modes, but what I did notice was the overall volume was louder in deep bass mode than in normal mode. What's going on for it is the volume goes quite high, the sound quality is top notch with good, thick bass. The buttons are plenty and conveniently placed, right on top of the thing. Stereo pairing is a nice feature to have, especially if you want to have a party. The aux for wired audio offers another option for audio input on the speaker. It has better dust and water resistance than the smaller speaker. It has much better battery life, and I love that it has a USB-C port. The stuff that's really not going for it is it feels like it's pricey at $55 US. It lacks that power bank feature that I think I would really love on it. It also doesn't have an FM radio option or an SD card slot for other options of playing audio. But you are a nerd and you like things. These 2 speakers lack something unique about them, and that's a bit of brains. You want your speaker to be smart. This is where the Xiaomi smart speaker comes in. It's nice and black and it's got an LED display. Finally, a speaker with a display. On top of it, it's got 4 mics for better voice detection when issuing out commands, and 4 buttons: play, pause, volume up and down, and a button to enable or disable the mics. Setting it up takes a bit more effort than with the Bluetooth only speakers, but that's because this one does more stuff. So first you need to download the Google Home app, then open it and plug the speaker into a power point. Once the speaker is on, click the add button in Google Home and just follow the prompts to add a smart speaker. So, like any smart speaker, you can do stuff like setting up alarms. Hey Google, set an alarm for 11:43 a.m.
You got it. Your alarm's set for 11:43 a.m.
Playing stuff on your other smart devices.
Hey Google, play music on the living room TV.
Okay, music from Spotify. Playing on living room TV.
And controlling smart home appliances and even smart home security systems.
Google, switch on home security system.
Sure, turning on home security system.
Call it peak soft life. As a speaker, it sounds good. In fact, on sound quality, it falls between the smaller Mi portable speaker and the bigger Mi portable speaker 16 watts. It is certainly producing a richer sound in the low end compared to the smaller speaker, but also it's more clear and crisp at maximum volume than the bigger speaker, even if it's not as loud. It does sound like this is a more quality driver that is being used in this Mi Smart speaker than the ones in the other Bluetooth speakers, but again, I am speaking from an audio enthusiast's point of view. These are the sort of nuances a lot of you will not even notice. Oh, and it can work as a Bluetooth speaker as well. All you do is ask it to switch on Bluetooth and it'll give you the instructions on how to pair your phone, tablet, or laptop to it. Not everyone is going to be using it for online streaming all the time. It's a great smart speaker. It even has a display that shows the time and says hello when you turn it on, something not very common with a lot of smart speakers, including the last Xiaomi smart speaker we played with a little while ago. The only complaint I have with smart speakers in general is that none of them have built-in batteries. You have to keep them plugged in 100% of the time, which is not a very African-friendly feature. And it's not like they are very power-hungry devices. The speaker uses a maximum of 12 watts, and if you put a 20,000 mAh power bank on it, you can get up to 12 hours of use on it, which would be very useful. Also, I think it's about time that all devices that use less than 100 watts of power should just use a USB-C port. There are smartphone chargers that can power this smart speaker easily. Nonetheless, if you are in the market for a smart speaker, this one is pretty good. Sound quality alone is better on it than on the Amazon Echo Dot or even the Google Home Mini. It's also cheaper than the other smart speakers on the market at $65 and Amazon Echo Dot is about $90 for the 3rd gen. The design is fine, but I think I am a sucker for that bit of fabric finish on my speakers. Call me old-fashioned. It's also got the full might of Google Assistant delivering all the smarts, and it has something a lot of other smart speakers do not have. An LED display, even though it only shows the time, but it's still there. So what's the stuff that's going for it? It's got that clock, that LED screen. It's got a great sound quality. The build is sturdy. The stuff that's really not going for it is it might seem pricey at $65, even though it's one of the cheapest smart speakers you can get. There is a limited selection of playback sources, so it's either you're using Bluetooth or you're streaming. And it relies 100% on power, so it's not a speaker that you can just move around or carry with you. So this is where these speakers stand. The smallest one is cheap and good looking, but at the price of low-end bass and features, because it's just 100% Bluetooth. The biggest one, the Mi portable speaker 16 watts, is the loudest with the most bass. It has better battery life and can also do wired audio. However, it's a bit pricier and at maximum volume it loses a bit of quality. The smart speaker, it's got all the smarts thanks to Google Assistant. It can work on its own without needing a device to be connected to it, and it can even control other smart devices in the house. It also sounds the best, and when you feel like it, you can use it as a Bluetooth speaker like the other two. But it's quite expensive, and unless you will fully utilize the smart features, you are pretty much paying more for a speaker that does less than the other two. Also, it's not one you could use outdoors because it needs to be plugged in for it to work. Personally, I'll get the Mi portable speaker 16 watts because it suits my situation better. I like my tech to be as versatile as it can be, and this speaker seems to do the job. Let me know which one you'll get. Thank you for watching.